Welcome to our El Paso Community College Mature Living Show. As usual, we have wonderful guests and great interviews today and topics. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and so we want to welcome you. Today, I want to also reintroduce you to Grace Ortiz, who has been stepping in for me every so often here as a host on Mature Living. And Grace is the faith-based and community engagement services specialist for Adult Protective Services. Thank you for being with us, Grace.
Thank you for inviting me, Mary.
I kind of stumbled a little bit
with you did great.
Your long title that you have. And today, as usual, we love to hear about programs and services for this community and what we can do, how we can get involved. And it really depends on each one of us, doesn't it?
Yes, it starts with you, it starts with me, it starts with you out there.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about Adult Protective Services and the role in this community.
So I work with Adult Protective Services. It's a state agency, and we investigate cases of abuse, neglect, and exploitation for the elderly, anybody 65 or older, or for persons with disabilities 18 to 64. Our motto is, we're here to help. We want to help. And there's a misconception. People think that we're granny snatchers, but that's not what we do. Our goal, again, is to make sure you can live safe and well in your home.
And when persons call and maybe are worried about a neighbor or family member that they feel or sense that something's going on, maybe a little bit of self-neglect, or it doesn't mean that you're going to go in there and just, like you said, granny snatchers. You go and help, don't you?
Absolutely. But it doesn't start with me. It can by being here today, and it starts with you by us talking about it. Yes. But I rely on you because it starts with you.
Each person.
What we all got to do is take care of each other. Okay. If we have a family, friend, neighbor, check on them. Make sure they're well. Ask them the questions. You have food, medications? Do you have utilities? Do you need help with anything? Do we need to get meals for you? Whatever it is, yes, we're there to help. And we're not going to take you out of your home, but we'll refer you to resources so that you can stay home.
Oh, that is so good. I know June is a very special month for Adult Protective Services.
It's right around the corner, and I do want to talk about that. June is Elder Abuse Awareness Month. Okay. And the whole month we're going to be doing some activities, but it's our way of raising awareness, talking about this, and getting people to learn more about our agency. So June the 7th is going to be our conference.
Okay.
We're having an educational opportunity, and that day is an event for everyone, from professionals to seniors to families of seniors. We want you to join us on June the 7th, and it's from 8:30 to 4:30.
Yes.
Here at EPCC, the Admin Services Building at 9050 Viscount, Building A conference room. And it's going to be focusing on healthy daily living. We're going to have breakfast for you. We'll have lunch for you.
Great sponsors to that.
Door prizes, and we're going to talk about those sponsors. Yeah. But I want you to know there's CEUs available through the UTEP Social Work Department, really inexpensive. So we want those individuals who need to keep their licenses up. It's a great day to be here at our event. Register at eventbrite.com and make sure you register. That's the way we can ensure you get in and you get a meal. It's free, but I'm going to ask you to donate something. Yes. A hygiene item, yes, shampoo, cream, body cream, toothpaste, toothbrushes, because we have a room, a silver room.
New chanclitas.
Yes, we have a silver room with all those items. And so when we run into someone who's very neglected and can't afford those items, we can provide them so we can get them back on their feet.
And maybe somebody gave you a gift that is not your size, but it's brand new.
It.
Bring it, and you share it with those elders
that need it. And you mentioned sponsors.
Yes.
So we wouldn't be able to do any of this without our sponsors, and I'm so grateful for them. We're looking at WellMed, Envision, El Paso Probate Bar, El Paso Community College Senior Adult Program, Tender Care, Bartlett Assisted Living, Always Best Care, and most importantly, Bien Vivir. So we're really excited because we have these individuals who really believe in our cause.
Yes.
And say, you know what, Grace, I want to help. How can we help you make this happen? And we wouldn't be able to without them.
It's so good. We wear purple. I love purple. And every time I see you or talk about Adult Protective Services or think about the programs and the conferences that you offer, I think about purple. Tell me about why we should wear purple.
So the whole month is Elder Abuse Awareness, but there's one day one day in the entire month that I ask you, wear purple. Show everybody in the community I support and want to prevent elder abuse. So wear the color purple. That's Go Purple Day here in El Paso and across Texas.
And what day is that?
June the 15th.
June the 15th. Wonderful. Well, thank you for reminding me. I'll go ahead and continue. I have lots of purple things. I love that color. So also, you mentioned this quote or this motto. It starts with you. And what can we do?
So many people will say, I want to be able to help, or I want to do something different. And again, our motto is, it starts with you, and there's so much that you can do.
Okay.
We all know of a senior, an elderly person. We have family, we have neighbors, we have friends at church. And if they're elderly, get involved. Don't think that you're being intrusive. Don't think you're being nosy. I want you to be nosy. And ask them the questions. How are you?
Oh, that's so
How
great.
are you doing?
Maybe no one has asked.
No. And what can we do for you? And they might tell you, you know what? I've been having a hard time making ends meet. I can't pay my bills. I need food. Or my arthritis.
My electricity has been shut off.
My arthritis is so bad I can't cook for myself. And so I'm not eating. But I don't have a car to get to the senior center to eat. And so this is where you can call Adult Protective Services. It's neglect. And it's not in a bad way. It's just we get older and we just can't do it anymore.
Yes.
But it takes all of us together.
Those are great examples.
So
Excellent examples.
what can we do? We'll call Adult Protective Services at 1-800-252-5400.
And we'll put it on the screen for you.
And what we'll do is we'll get a case, and then our staff will go out there and we'll see what we can do. We'll connect you to services. We'll see if we can get you Meals on Wheels or the county nutrition program. We'll see if we can make sure you have everything that you need in your home. Miss Mary, we can also, based on your diagnosis, if you have Parkinson's, you're on dialysis, you have cancer, and you're getting frail and you're afraid to get in your tub, well, maybe Adult Protective Services might be able to help you with a bathroom conversion.
Or assistive devices.
A shower
equipment,
chair,
walkers.
a walker, a little portable toilet for next to your bed, so at night you won't stumble in the dark.
And also the Silver Star board helps you, don't you? For
We
some of
have.
these?
I work with an amazing board, and they're known as the APS Silver Star Board. So we're together. Adult Protective Services and the APS Silver Star Board are doing this conference because we know the need of education. We know that we have to get the word out, but they very much support us. And when we can't buy something, I will go to them and ask them, please help me buy something, get them what they need. And you know, sometimes it's as simple as a guitar for someone who misses playing or used to be a singer, or it can be something as big as a special type of medical equipment that is needed for you to be able to live safely at home. So I'm grateful for that because I want to make sure everybody stays home and
It's
is
so good.
they're safe at home.
You're doing a lot of good in this community, and we all embrace you. All these organizations embrace your work, and we work together. And one of the things I also want to mention is that you are also one of our professors with the Senior Adult Program, and you teach a very special class.
I do, and it's called Getting Older Doesn't Have to Be Hard. And I will tell you, it's a very fulfilling job. You know, the first day of class, I see that look like, what is this about, and why did I take it? And I can see that we talk about courageous things, legal documents, the last will and testament, how to organize your life. We'll talk about hoarding or 6 dimensions of well-being. But when I connect with you in class, then I know I'm doing something right. And I can see your growth.
And
I can
we're
see
all
you
going to
grow.
go through this.
Yes.
We're all going to go through what you're going to discuss in class. And
I tell each and every one of them, each and every one of you has a story.
yes,
Your individual story. You know, just like a book, it starts and it ends, but your story's in there. I want it to be a good story. I want people to know that you aged well, safely, and that you weren't hurt by anybody, or you didn't go without items or being neglected. So yes, it's a very fulfilling. I will be teaching in the fall. This semester is already ending, but come out, join me.
in September.
And-
Come August, we start registering for the fall.
Right, and I'd love to have you, and trust me, we'll have fun together. It's all about having fun.
What a great contribution. that the staff of Adult Protective Services and everybody together working towards keeping our elders safe.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for all your good work.
Thank you so much, Mary.
We're going to be back with more guests. We're going to talk about crocheting, would you believe, and the Student Service Learning Program at the community college. We'll be back. Thank you so much.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I told myself she'd fallen. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
My stuff kept disappearing, but I told myself I was misplacing it. I didn't want to see the truth. My daughter was stealing from me.
Many of us don't want to see the signs, don't want to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. If you suspect elder abuse, call the police or your local agency on aging. You don't have to prove abuse is taking place to report it. Remember, elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
To learn more, visit ncpc.org.
Something that really blew my mind about this class was that for some reason all my life, things like ceramics seemed like, oh, really talented people make that, and I know nothing about that. That's a world that's so far away from me. But whenever I started actually making it myself, I realized that world is very close to me and everyone else. It's very adjacent to what I do, and it's very possible for me to be a part of that.
And I like doing a lot of things with my hands, so I wanted to do that also.
It gets pretty messy, but it's really rewarding.
We teach you how to work with clay. We tell you what clay is, where it comes from, the type of, what types of clay there are, and the type that we use. And we teach you several different methods to do hand building of clay. A lot of people, when they think of ceramics, they think of wheel-thrown pottery. I do touch on that a little bit, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is actually working with the clay.
With ceramics, usually it's with clay. We can make shapes out of the clay with however we want to make it, and we also use the wheel, usually to make bowls or anything hollow inside. And then we also learn about how to make glazes.
They have to find recipes for the glazes, and they mix them up, and we test some of them, and then they use them on their pots.
Sometimes it'll be like a gray, but it'll come out a blue. It just depends on the kind of glazes you buy and the temperature that you're firing at in the kiln that we put them in. The ones right here in the front, all these are made on the wheel. And then the fish in the front, those are handmade. These are slabs, which is something that we roll out with a rolling pin, and then we create our shape with that. These are coils, this one and this one. They're both coils. That is made out of a long piece of clay that we roll out.
It really helps you just to understand exactly how much you can create, what your potential is, and it's really nice to just try to get into to create something for the sake of creating and expanding your horizons. For the one that says I eat sand, that one's a bit more, I guess, cryptic and strange, but I feel like that's kind of how I am in a lot of situations. Ceramics sort of bridges, it's a bridge between functionality and beauty, and I sort of wanted to try that for myself.
I feel like the students enjoy it, and I personally love clay. So, if you're interested in doing this sort of thing, please take the class. Sign up. We have it in the fall and the spring. We don't do summer classes. It takes too much time to do the work. But feel free to ask questions. You can come by and visit my class anytime.
Well, thank you for staying with us here on Mature Living. As promised, we have a very interesting topic to talk about, And we've invited one of our professors from the El Paso Community College. She works at the El Paso Community College Mission del Paso campus. So she is an assistant professor of biology, but she's also involved with the service learning program, which she's going to tell us all about it. But first, I'd like to just ask her about herself so we can introduce her to you all. So tell me, Dr. Martinez, a little bit about yourself and where you grew up. We always are interested in our professors here at the college and what the students are learning, who they're learning from.
No, yes, of course. I'm very happy to be here. I am a native El Pasoan. You know, I was born and raised here in El Paso, very close to Socorro. That's where I went to high school. Okay. And I decided I wanted to get out of El Paso and to study. Yes. And I went to Bowdoin College, which is a small liberal arts college in Maine, for my undergraduate. That's where I earned a bachelor's in biology and also Latin American studies.
Wonderful.
Yes, so got 2 of those. And then I decided I need to come back to Texas.
It's cold in Maine.
It's cold there. So I did my graduate work at University of North Texas, which is in Denton. And I studied molecular biology there. That's where I earned my PhD.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. We're proud of our El Pasoans and our students that are now teachers, yes, and encouraging our students to go into the sciences. We need so much.
I think representation is extremely important in the sciences. It helps my students to see someone who is from their neighborhood, who looks like them, to know that they can succeed in STEM.
Absolutely. Well, you're a great role model, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule in your classes. Let's talk a little bit about the topic of service learning. What is that program, and how does it work?
I've been very lucky to be part of service learning for a few years now. I actually started my program in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh my gosh, that was difficult.
Yes, so students were wanting a way of connecting when we were all in isolation and lockdown. So I volunteered and said, I am an expert at crocheting and I'm pretty good at technology, so let's do crochet meetings online.
And that's a right brain, left brain thing, because the crocheting is the right brain, and then the sciences, is the left brain.
Yeah, so that's how I got involved with service learning. And since then, I've been running my program, EPCC Crochets, and we've been all virtual, hybrid, and now we're transitioning back to face-to-face. And what's unique about my program is that it's not just for students, although that is a huge part of it. I also welcome community members to come out and participate.
Let's invite them now, because they're watching, they're yes, listening and watching you right now. And we at the Senior Adult Program also offer a crocheting class, and we have a professor, Westover, Andrea Westover, who teaches that class. And of course, that's going to resume in the fall. Mm-hmm. We don't have it in the summer, but in the fall. So what are some of the causes and the activities of the group?
Oh yeah, so in the past we've been making what are called nests, and I brought one to show.
Oh my goodness.
So here's a little crochet nest that I've previously taught my groups how to make. And this would be, for eggs or for a small bird. Everything that we make at
seeds.
Yes, everything we make at EPCC Crochets is donated. So we provide all the supplies, and we donate all of our things that we make.
And if there's anybody out there that is not crocheting anymore and they have yarn, hey,
we will take it.
We're going to give a number also at the end so that they can get their pen ready for donations.
Yes. So we make these nests and donate them to local wildlife rescue groups.
Can I see that?
Yes, of course. Take a look at it.
It feels sturdy, and it's multi-uses. Mm-hmm. And then you donate them.
And then we donate those.
Do you donate anything for the winter for doggies?
Yes, that's what we've been working on this semester, actually. I start my students off making a rectangle. The rectangles are then pieced together to make blankets, which can be donated to homeless shelters, or our favorite is Laws and Paws. That's where we like to donate. They're a great group.
They need to be warm in the winter too, although we're approaching a beautiful summer, and we won't need any blankets then. But definitely, what a great cause.
Thank you.
And the work that you and our students, our college students, are doing. So how does crocheting help our mind and keeping our mind active at any age?
Oh, yes. So some of the ways to decrease cognitive decline, so here's my sciencey coming out, right? Cognitive decline or the dementia onset is to stay active, right? We've heard of this. Have a good diet, right? Get good rest. But something that maybe is not emphasized is also keeping good relationships with the community.
Social network.
Yes, you need to have your group. So coming to something like a crochet group weekly could, one, give you a nice routine, and it'll help you reinforce a skill, and that keeps you sharp, so you can keep your mind active this way. It's also great for having community and somebody who you're going to see every week, and things that you maybe don't think you have in common with someone. Having a shared interest in a shared activity opens up the floodgates for friendship.
Beautiful. That is so important for elders as well, and any persons at any age, of course. But I understand also you have a jardín at that mission, EPCC Jardín at Mission El Paso, a gardening group. Oh, for those people that are, in the summer we're out in our gardens that are clipping this or clipping that or planting this. Tell us about that group.
Yeah, EPCC Jardín is also a service learning group. Again, we always open up to the community with our service learning. And so we have weekly meetings there at Mission del Paso. We have this beautiful classroom garden. It has a chalkboard, it has seating, but it also has the garden component where we have native desert plants that I use in my classes to teach about biology and those plants.
Yes.
But we also have food. So we have vegetables. We put in Swiss chard, we put in kale, we put in tomatoes and chilies, and those are currently, in the ground, and they'll be ready in the summer, and we just need help for people to come out. You want to putter around in our garden, you are welcome.
Yes, super.
Yes.
I visited my family recently, and my daughter planted onions, and she pulled out the little green onions. They're already ready to be chopped and eaten. Little chilitos, little serranos and jalapenos. Anything grows. And here in El Paso, there's some special plants that grow very well in our outdoors.
We try to put in weather hardy plants that are going to survive our beautiful sun, right, and our hot weather. And we have everything on a drip system, but it takes everybody to have a garden like this. Last week we had a community event where we had students, we had community members. All of us were lending our expertise to get the garden planted and ready for the summer.
So good. Also we have a class called Healing Herbs. So if they want to plant herbs, we could probably have our professor come and talk to your group.
That would be amazing.
Healing herbs, yeah. Las hierbitas, the elders, they always had these teas, mint, for the stomach or, all kinds of little, and we can also plant our herbs.
That would be
great. So we're going to arrange that because that is our class is called Healing Herbs, and you could take the class as well. So this one is at Trans Mountain, I believe, in that area at Northeast. And we also have the complementary and alternative medicine class. With biology, I'm sure you'd love to listen to some of the lectures. And then also we have a gardening for healthy living class. And we have our master gardener, Mr. Perez, and he is our professor. We have everything here at the college for the seniors, for the students, and I'm so glad that you're taking the time to be here also. What about those friendships that we build, intergenerational?
Yeah, so participating in a group like this through service learning gives my students and myself the opportunity to interact with people we normally would not interact with, right?
Yes.
And I have had seniors in my crocheting group and seniors in high school at the same time, so both extremes, right?
Wonderful.
And what is amazing about this group is that just having a shared activity opens up the conversation. And so we're connecting on many levels and become lifelong friends. And it's great to connect with older generations and hear what they've been through, what they've learned, and advising the younger generations. It's so important to keep these connections. Even if you think you may not have something in common, trust me, you do. and it's more than just crochet.
That is so true. Well, we always want to promote our students, our programs. Do they get credit for a class credit for when they go to do maybe 20 hours or whatever number of hours are allowed to serve in service learning?
Yes, so many of our professors at EPCC are on board with the service learning.
Good.
So all a student has to do is reach out to the faculty member and say, will I get some kind of credit for participating? And many professors will give project replacements, exam replacements, extra credit, all kinds of things like that.
We always need extra credit.
It's a program that just keeps giving, right? You learn a skill. You interact with your community, you get some extra credit, right? All of these things are just showing you the benefits of this program at the school. It's such a great program.
Yes, it is, and it's been ongoing for a long time, and we have to give credit to Patricia Islas, the other professor, and I think she's a speech, I'm not
she's
in speech professor at the college. Well, you know, we are the college of the community, right? So that's why we integrate our students in the QEP enhancement program to get involved with community and start projects in your neighborhoods. Keep our neighborhoods safe, and maybe starting a garden, you know, a community garden, or a new group, you know, with their elders. If they know someone that crochets, stop by if it's an elder, crochet with them, learn from them. Yes. So beautiful. And now, let's give you a phone number where they can call about the service learning program. It could be a college number. It should be a college number. Is there one you can give us? I have one here.
Okay.
And it's 915-831-7218. That's 915-831-7218. Did I say 6?
Yes, 8.
That's it.
And
okay, I hope I didn't confuse everything.
We also have an email, servicelearning@epcc.edu. It's also a great way to get in touch with us as well.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I know you've got to run to go to class. And of course, this is kind of the first week of May. So, you know, the semester will be starting, and we'll be starting with skates on, right? Thank you. We've been talking with Dr. Sara Martinez, who's a professor at Mission El Paso, has these wonderful programs, and we have great instructors. It was so glad to meet you.
It was great
and come
to
back
be here.
again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it for today. We'll see you all next week on Mature Living again.